Hey everybody, welcome to week 14. This is our overview video. I hope that you have already started your week by printing off the course schedule, and now you are watching the video, which is fantastic. And don't forget to attend our Zoom meeting either at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock on Monday morning. So that would be great, so I could see you and clarify any directions, answer questions, and give you any updates that I have for you during that time. Okay, so first things first, after you have your course schedule all printed out, here is our overview of the week. You will have some summative tests and quizzes. We're going to begin our new unit, Inference, Reading the Invisible, and of course you have a responsive reading assignment for the week. It's going to feel very familiar. I'm sure you're getting a hang of this now that we have been doing it for a couple of weeks. So the first thing I need to tell you is don't forget you have a test this week. You have your test number 3, Analyzing Text Structure. I don't know why it says test number 2 right here. That is a typo. It is supposed to be a 3. So you are going to, this is a Word document right here. So it is posted in content in the same folder as your vocabulary quiz. So it's in the summative tests and quizzes folder. Reminder, anything in this folder is due Wednesday at 11:30 p.m. So all of this has to be done by Wednesday at 11:30, okay? So that means your test needs to get done. Now, this is going to be in the same vein as the last test that you took online, which means it's a Word document. You can either download the Word document and print the Word document and then do it paper pencil, like at your dining room table or wherever you work. Or you can bring it up, download it, bring it up as a Word document in your computer, and you can type the answers. You just have to make sure that I understand what your answers are and that I can read your answers, whichever way you do it. I need to be able to read your answers and understand how you're doing things, okay? So there's going to be a little bit more multiple choice than I like, because you know that I don't like multiple choice, but I'm trying to make this easy for you. So, you know, if you're doing it on your computer, you might change the color of the text for your answer, or you might highlight your answer. So it's very clear that that's the one that you're choosing, okay? Make sure it's really clear. And then when you're done, you either have to take pictures if you did it paper pencil at your kitchen table and upload the pictures into the assignment folder, which is right here, or you need to save your document and then upload your document into the assignment folder. So if you have questions about that, feel free to ask me. Do not guess. Ask me, email me, Zoom me, whatever. Make sure that this gets done and gets done well, okay? The next thing is our new unit, and it's our last unit. We will be starting our very last unit this week. It is called Reading the Invisible, Inference. And so in this folder this week, we have lots of stuff. We're going to start out with a voice thread like we always do, and I'm going to introduce you to what inference is. And you're going to need a notebook and a piece of a piece of paper or a notebook and a pencil or a pen, something to write with. So bring that with you when you are doing this voice thread, because I'm going to ask you to do some note-taking during the voice thread. And on the voice thread, you will have to do lots and lots of comments this week on your voice thread. This is what the beginning presentation looks like. And so once you're done with that voice thread, and remember, This is just the PowerPoint. There's nothing for you to do with this. It's just in case you would like to print a page or print that and take notes on it, or if you just want to look at it for a longer time and in more continuity than the VoiceThread. That's just for you. Of course, there is a study read for Chapter 7, so you need to get your Chapter 7 study read done. And then there's some quizzes, practice quizzes in the quizzes. Okay, same drill. And then we're going to do a draft read. So the last 2 weeks, I've asked you to read the essay and do all of your annotations and stuff before you watch the video. This week, you can watch the video and just come without reading the text yet. I will be asking you to pause the video and do things with the text and then come back. It's very reminiscent of what you've done in the past. It's not that much different. The only thing that's different is you don't have to prepare to watch the video. You can just print out Salvador Later Early, which is the text, and then there's also questions. So it's like on 3 different pages. So if you have a printer and you want to print, great. If not, just pull them up on your computer and you can either do it in your notebook or you can do it type on the document. It's just a Word doc. So, actually, it's not a Word doc. These are PDFs. I don't have a Word doc for them, and I don't know how to convert them. I tried and I couldn't. So, you're just going to have to take notes in your notebook. Read them on your computer and take notes in your notebook. That's just fine. It'll work just fine. Okay, so that is our unit, and this is practice, and this is an introduction, and then, of course, these are your assignments. Okay, so that is reading the invisible. The last thing, of course, that you have to do is a responsive reading. This week you have 2 short articles to read. Here is the difference with this week. This week, since you have both Reading is Fundamental and Can Reading Make You Stronger, these are 2 different articles. They're both short. And they have different ideas, but they have some themes that go along with both of them. And so what you're going to do is you're going to write one reflection paper, only one, and you're going to try and figure out how do these 2 texts relate to each other. And you are going to be writing about those ideas, their shared ideas between the 2. This is a synthesis paper. So you are pulling ideas from both articles, both essays, and you are writing about those ideas, the ideas that are the same or the contrasting ideas that are in both. You are not going to write a little tiny bit about Reading is Fundamental and only about Reading is Fundamental, and then start a new paragraph and write only about Can Reading Make You Stronger? No. You will not get credit for this paper if you write a paragraph about each that do not relate them to each other. I don't know if you remember at the very beginning of the semester, we read an essay called We Are All Fiction, a Mosaic, and I can't remember, but we talked about the word mosaic. And remember that a mosaic takes pieces from other things and makes a new whole, right? And that's a synthesis. You're taking pieces from both of these essays and you're pulling out the ideas that relate to each other. And then you're going to write about those big ideas. And don't forget that just because you're synthesizing and you're writing about both of these together doesn't mean that your opinions don't go in here, because it's still a reflection paper. Your ideas, your opinions, you need to show up in this paper. So you might say, I agree with, or I disagree with, or whatever, And then you're going to talk about the big ideas that both of these essays have in common, or the contrasting ideas. Okay, so this is a little bit, I'm pushing you a little bit. I know this is a little bit harder than your regular run-of-the-mill reflection paper, but I want you to be pulling those textual connections out and writing about them and how you feel about them and what you think about them. All right, so you're going to be drawing some conclusions based on these 2 essays this week. And you're just writing one reflection, and you're going to pull the ideas together to make a new whole. So you're synthesizing. All right? And if you need more help with that, your first job is going to be to look up synthesis and look up synthesize. Okay, synthesize and synthesis. Look it up, see what you can find, and then you will email me or request a Zoom meeting with me, and then we will talk about it. Okay, and that's it for this week. So you have this paper, and then you have a voice thread, a study read, and a video draft read to do, and then you have a test to take and a vocabulary quiz to take. And that takes care of week 14. Let me know if you have questions. I'm looking forward to seeing you in our Zoom meeting. Have a great week.